Hi guys, welcome back to Africana. This is episode 10. Episode 10 guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't and share this with your friends and family. So today we're going to continue the conversation on education from where we left off last week. And we're going to talk more about how to redesign learning with Lilian Warutere, the founder of Redesign. And karibu sana Lilian.
Thank you.
And to continue off our conversation from last time, I want you to tell us more about Redesign. How is the structure? How is the organization structured? Yeah.
Okay, cool. So right now we're a very small team, we're a remote team. And that's one of the things that we really want to start working on, because we're doing online courses, we want to be a fully remote team. So we have 3 people. There's me, there's Melanie Kapiso, a digital marketer who's helping us to create the content and teach the classes. Then there's Gideon Wanaina, who actually helps us in business development. It's really just looking at what is out there in the space, and we kind of keep on looking at what can be the vision that has been really important for us for the past 3 months so far, having connected with them. So that's our structure per se right now. Looking to grow a lot more in different ways. We have a lot of things that are exciting coming up.
Yeah.
So that's our main structure and how we operate.
That's dope. I know when you had the idea, it was a beautiful one, and there's some challenges you had foreseen.
Yeah.
And I know you prepared for that. But I want to find out, when you started Redesign and you started the training courses, what are some of the challenges you faced on the way? What are some of them?
Okay, cool. So just starting off, when we had started off Redesign or full redesign learning, so one of the challenges we had was that we were really entering into a space that we weren't so sure about. So it was online courses, yes, and of course the content part was a bit easier to get. So we were actually physical starting off. COVID is what made us actually shift and decide that we want to stay there.
Yeah. Oh, physically, where was it?
So in Kwa. So we actually started in Catholic University. So we started with the marketing club, teaching a few students. So we created the content. They were really happy because now they could see what's needed in the market per se. And then now with COVID, we had to actually shift online. So we looked for the right tools that would help our classes. We looked for a right way of presenting our content, how to do it really well. And so it's been a period of continuous improvement. I think the biggest challenge has always been how to continue improving, mainly because you're trying to teach really, really well. Because you're pricing a product, again, as everything else, you always give your customer the best experience. But you're always learning something new and you want to keep on upping your game. So because we didn't have people in our space who could teach us and guide us around how do you create an amazing learning experience, we have always been trying to look outside, look for mentors, look for people who could help us really identify this is how you can move your course to the next level. This is how you can actually create a course that would make people even more engaged, more happy. So that's one of the challenges that we've had, and we are continuously looking for ways to find ways we can offer something amazing to the people that we're working with.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. And aside from the physical challenges, are there some unforeseen things you've gone through that maybe are not in the education space, that are not in the actual course? Yeah.
So I would say, because we were starting something that was pretty new, finding partners was a bit hard. So that wasn't to do with the course, but finding partners was a bit hard, because if you're trying to sell a vision that people are not really getting yet what it is.
Yeah.
So we tried to partner with some universities as well. So we started off with clubs, went to the universities, but universities are looking for something very different from what we're offering, right? They weren't looking at the effectiveness of what you are creating or what is sort of like the next step. They were looking for partners who are much bigger companies, right?
Yeah.
And so as a small company that's growing, you're trying to really show people that there's an impact that you're making. You've actually documented the impact, but they're not listening because you're still so small.
Yeah.
So that was one of the challenges. It still is. But we're thinking bigger right now in terms of how can we even create our own space if we can't find partners who are necessarily already in the education space. How do we find more innovative people who are around us who can start partnering with small companies, even large companies that are more looking towards moving to the next level rather than where we are.
Yeah. And let me ask, now that you're in this space and you've been here for a while, what do you see the future of education as? Like for you as Lilian, and for you as Lilian first, because I believe you also your passion for learning is really dope and you keep on learning. So for you as Lilian, what's the future of education? And for you as Redesign, what's the future of education that you want to provide?
Okay, cool. So for myself, I have tried to redesign my own learning experience, right? So there's the traditional path of the way you'd actually know, like if you're leaving and you want to move to the next step, there's the simple path that you always go, do this, do this, do that. But I've had friends who, for them, reshaped so for example, the master's experience, they were thinking about it in terms of, what if I went and worked in this country, then went and worked in that country. I wasn't learning from one specific person, but different scenarios, and really thinking about, can those scenarios become part of my master's experience? So for me, it was more of like, if I'm going to create a transformation learning experience that's unique, I need to craft that for myself as well. So I started off thinking around what can a different master's experience look like, right? The disadvantages are that when you're doing a master's in a very well accredited university, it has so much potential for you. But when you're trying to design something different, of course there are benefits, but because it's not accredited per se, there's that gap whereby when you're telling someone, I haven't done a master's per se, but this is what I've been doing, and they really have to think twice about it. So that's the downside. But the good side of it was that really opening my mind to what can be an interesting new path for people to take. So that if you're crafting that space, we're telling people that this is one path that you can take and it's just awesome. But there's also this other path that we're creating that we've seen is also just as awesome and can actually fit what you're looking for. So for me, it's all about understanding how can I craft myself a learning experience that's unique, very unique, so that when I create it for the course as well, it's something that I see is visionary, and the impact, I can actually say that I know this will impact this student this way because it impacted me that way. So it's more of like experience it and then bring the best of it to the course so that they can actually feel the fullness of a transformational experience.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And I'm urging everyone that's watching to check out Redesign for yourself, for your friends, for everyone around you. And I know most of you are wondering, okay guys, I like what you're talking about. I've been also thinking about how to redesign my experience, and you're wondering, how can I find you? How can I find Redesign? So how can we?
Okay, cool. So you can find us on Twitter. You can find us also on Instagram as Redesign Learning for short, because sometimes it's a bit long. You can find us as Redesign, so you'll find us over there as well as Redesign. So I think one thing that I'd say is what you would find from us is that just that unique experience that you're trying to create and you're always trying to create. It's sort of like we're creating an adventure for everyone who's coming into the course. That's our main goal, that if you're coming in, you're finding such amazing things, connections. So my friend told me that, so there's something that's unique in public universities that you would find that's probably dying away slowly, that you're in one course, let's say you're doing BCom, and you like doing IT. But because you're in BCom and stuck there, you don't really get to learn what's in IT, right? Yeah. Your adventure is cut off there. Yeah. But there used to be a time whereby you're in BCom, but you're led to go to IT classes. You just told, if you want to, you just enter into that class, you study. So that kind of experimentation and adventure in public is where you could enter into any room, decide, you're like, I just learn what's happening. Yeah. And we're like, how comes we're forgetting that adventure you can create for people, that I can be a doctor, but I want to be able to be a videographer. Yeah. Can I just enter into the videography class and learn? And then check, and I'm like, I'll use this in my medicine somehow later,
You never know. Like the series we watched, etc. Thank you. And someone might be wondering, do you have any upcoming courses, in July, August that I could sign up for? What are those courses? Tell us more about that.
So our first flagship course is actually the content marketing course. So it teaches about strategy and content creation. So it's divided into two parts. The first part is 5 weeks, which is just purely strategy. And most people don't think about the strategy part, but we always tell our students it's always about, if you're creating content, if you're playing to win, like being the best, you need to think about strategy. Because if you're not thinking about being the best, then you'll probably be, exactly. You're not playing to win, you're playing to just be one amongst the 10.
Why not? Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't need to say it, like, if you go to Clara, she'll tell you all about this because she's strategy 100%. And so I'm like, that's the first course. And then the second course is around content creation. So we're actually taking students around how to create content for social media. But a big thing that we're working on right now is like, how can we create different paths for people in terms of creating depending on different skills. If you're a designer, if you're a copywriter, if you're a videographer. So we want to create that adventure that if you're one person who wants to experience all these things, you can meet us there. For now, we don't have it fully. What we do is that if there's a demand from our students that they want to learn videography, we invite someone for videography and give a session on it, just to help them see the space and see who they can connect with. And then part of what happens in the community afterwards one is that we try get people to come in for workshops, to give students workshops around those specific areas they're interested in. So specifically if you're interested in content marketing, which is creating content for organizations, for yourself, to help them meet their customers, then you can find us there and you can really give you an awesome experience of 8 weeks and a full year of a community where you keep on learning and connecting with people.
Yeah, thank you so much. And right now I just want to say thank you for watching. And I want to urge you guys who are watching, if you're in the content space as a professional, if you're in the marketing space as a professional, and you have a gift of teaching or training, please reach out to Redesign, because it's also a platform for you to exercise your gifts. It's also a platform for you to expand your network for training and capacity building. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to follow and subscribe to Africana on all our platforms. We are on audio, that means Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. We are also on video, that means YouTube, Facebook. We're also on Instagram. Please subscribe and tune in. Thank you so much. Bye guys.
Bye bye.